Okay, guys, this is going to be my Super Bowl 55 preview and prediction. So, Super Bowl 55 is going to take place later on today. It's the Chiefs looking to be the first team to repeat since the Patriots back in 2003 and 2004 in the early Tom Brady years. And it'll be against Tom Brady and not the Patriots, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in his first season with Tampa Bay. Currently, the line is about, I think, it's a couple points for the Chiefs. Let's see, the Buccaneers are playing in their home stadium, which doesn't really matter too much, but obviously, you're not in the hotel, you're not traveling, so that might be a marginal difference at best, I'd say. Looking at the matchup, the Buccaneers have really gotten hot lately. They were able to beat the Redskins, gave them a tough game, and then they were able to beat the Saints. The Saints, you could kind of say the Saints beat themselves almost, and then they were able to beat the Packers. They got out early. Brady threw some picks in the second half. The Packers weren't able to capitalize. The Bucks defense has been playing better. I think the one weak spot of their defense is the secondary. I think it can be had. A couple other notes swinging over to the Chiefs. Both they have two offensive linemen that are going to be out, which is a big deal. Being able to have protection is matters, and Mahomes can't get out of it, but he's not Lamar Jackson at the same time. And the Buccaneers have a good front four and a good front seven with Shaq Barrett, Devin White, Levante David, JPP, and Ndamukong Suh. So they have some options, especially with the edge rushers and the linebackers. So I think expecting them to get after them a little bit and trying to dial up some pressure is, I think, the Bucks' game plan. And I think if they can try to get some pressure and try to throw Mahomes off his game, maybe he makes a mistake or two, because sometimes Mahomes does try to do a little bit too much, one could say. And if they could maybe be able to capitalize off some turnovers or some points or whatever, then I think that would put them in a good spot. The thing with the Chiefs is they're so dominant. I know there were a lot of games in there where they were winning by about like a score, a touchdown, and they didn't look that good. But you just kind of get that feeling with the Chiefs where it's like they can almost score whenever they want to, almost. And like whenever they need a score late in the game, they get it. And it happened last year with the 49ers in the Super Bowl. They were down 10 points in the fourth quarter with like 8 minutes left, and they came back and they won by two scores. Like you look back, you don't really think last year's Super Bowl was that close, but it was actually, the 49ers were looking like they were going to win the Super Bowl by double digits in the fourth quarter. So it's a little bit interesting. I think that Tampa Bay has a more experienced quarterback than them. But I think it reminds me a little bit of there, where I think Tampa Bay might have the more talented team top to bottom, actually. But I think the Chiefs are a really good team at quarterback and at skill positions, such as Travis Kelce at tight end and Tyreek at wide receiver. I think they probably got the best QB, best tight end, and best wide receiver in football. But the Buccaneers have some good wide receivers as well, and they got a quarterback who's been here before. And don't bet against him in the postseason is what you say. I think this is going to be a close game. I don't see Tampa Bay blowing the Chiefs out. Mahomes hasn't lost. His biggest loss in his career has been 8 points. I don't see it being a game where the Buccaneers blow them out. I think the Chiefs could blow them out if Brady has some picks and they struggle to move the ball consistently. But I think it's going to be a pretty close game. I don't think any lead is safe for Tampa Bay. I think if they get up 21 early, the Chiefs could come back. I think if the Chiefs get up early, I don't know if Tampa Bay has as much ability to come back, but if the Chiefs start to kind of go overconfident, they start to ring in the playbook a little bit, I think Tampa Bay could kind of work themselves back into the game, kind of like in the first matchup they had back, I think, or in like the later part of November. Overall, I see it being close. I think Kansas City, part of me wants to pick Kansas City just because I think that they're Mahomes, and I just think the talent that they have, and I think Kansas City's more likely to win the game. But at the same time, I think Tampa Bay I just kind of have a feeling that they're gonna pull through. I just kind of have this gut feeling. I kind of felt like that at the beginning of the playoffs, like Tampa Bay's gonna make the Super Bowl, and they may even win it. But I'm gonna go Kansas City because I think they're just a little bit better. I think Kansas City, if I had to do my score prediction, I would go Kansas City. I think they're going to be able to move the ball pretty well. I think Tampa Bay has a pretty good defense, but I think they're going to be able to move the ball pretty well. Now, like, I could see Tampa Bay winning a game like a 34-31 type game where if they can get that offense going and be able to pick that KC defense apart, I think it's going to be a close game. You know, I'm gonna go Kansas City because I think late in the game I trust them a little bit more to make the plays. I just think they're just so talented in a lot of positions. But I wouldn't be surprised if they lose the game. But I'm gonna go Kansas City 34-31. I think Tampa Bay is going to be able to move the ball, but I think when the chips are on the table, I think Kansas City is going to be able to move that ball pretty well. I'm going to go 34-31 Kansas City, right around that spread line, but I like the pick. I've got the last four right. Let's see if I can get this one right. I'm going to go Kansas City 34-31. Peace out.